Thank you. And Nina, thank you very much for opening our hearts. Now we are ready and we have a challenge because now we are entering Kairos. We want to hear everyone's voice and we go and call you forth to step into the circle one by one, and we ask you to share your essence in the most succinct and shortest way so we can listen to everyone and still somehow end ultimately in time. So again, we are moving to Morocco and we invite Dries Madraghi, founder of Come to My Home Festival in Casablanca, former Minister of Economics. Dries, please.
Oh, hello, everybody. I was delighted to listen to all those who spoke before me. To be brief, I'll put it in these words. It's one planet, it's one country, it's one home. We are all part of it. So let's open our hearts. Let's open our minds. Let's open ourselves to everyone, to each other, and try to do something in this life that would be valuable. Let's be co-creative. Let's do things. Not only think things, but do things. That would be my message for this gathering. Very delighted and very enlightening. Thank you.
Dries, thank you so much. From our brother Dries to our sister Zahira in Jerusalem.
Zahira, you're muted.
Okay. Thank you for this meeting. I'm delighted to be with all of you. And I heard really with a lot of concentration to all the presentation, and I feel that you know, a lot of hope is coming from each of them. But being in Jerusalem under occupation, and even you are treated with a non-human being, and to see that all around you, either they are in prison, they are killed, their houses demolished, you are not able even to bring your sister to your home, who lives, you know, in Ramallah, half an hour away from you. It's becoming a home of humanity. It's becoming not possible for at least to think about it for me. I hope that I can do that, and I hope that I come. I was so optimistic, but now with 50 years of being struggling for independence, for liberty of Palestine, for our freedom, and instead of having the situation is becoming changing for better situation, it is much more bad. I hope in this group that you can even read or contact me to know more about our cause, to know our story, that it is coming from us, not from any other people else. So how we can, being in solidarity with each other, and this solidarity can help us to make the change of our situation. Thank you.
Thank you, Zahira. And from Palestine, we move to Slovenia welcoming UNESCO peace artist Marko Pogacnik.
And thank you, Zahira. It's important in this time of COVID that we are in solidarity with all of you in Palestine and hope for liberty there and elsewhere.
Thank you.
Hello, I am not Anna, I'm Marko Pogacnik. This is my daughter, Anna. So I am very pleased that this project is now going. We need such a home because our old home is deteriorating upon the planet, you know, and we need to create a new connection to Gaia, a new culture that they call Gaia culture of cooperation between human beings, a human family, and Gaia and her elemental worlds. So practically, we are going with our LifeNet art group to create on the place of the Home of Humanity in France. We will create a geopuncture circle, a stone circle with carved cosmograms to create a foundation, a connection to Gaia and the Earth for this whole project. We will do it next year. And thank you for listening.
Dearest Marko, we are thrilled with the project and looking forward to it. Thank you for being with us on the Solstice Day. And we move with that to Switzerland, to Donato Pasigli, the Vice President of the World Academy of Arts and Sciences and longtime UN humanitarian.
Thank you, Rama, Alexander, and all of you. I'm here as a friend of Rama and Alexander and nothing else. But I really have applause for this initiative. I think that when we talk about home, we mean something else. We mean hospitality. We mean a place where everybody can have a place. And this is probably what you are offering. And everybody should have a place. And probably we all have more than one place because we are all living under the same sun, under the same sky. And that's already a place. Homeless people have a place, and animals have a place, plants have a place. The important thing is to share this place, to share, to have a sense of hospitality is one of the most sacred things, most sacred attitudes that humans are capable of delivering, of expressing. In all cultures, hospitality is so important. So what does it mean, hospitality? Hospitality is not just offering shelter, food, is opening yourself, is understanding or trying to understand what the others mean or stand for. Not through propaganda, not through just saying me, my condition, but just trying to understand what the others are doing or what others are trying to express. And that is really the real sense of hospitality. And that's the only way how we cannot be afraid of diversity, because we all are one way or another, we love diversity, but we are also, it's very human. We are also afraid of diversity because we cannot understand diversity. But the moment that you create a place and you give everybody a place through that same place, that means locate people physically, but also spiritually, mentally, and you try to understand them, that already changes the paradigm. This is certainly an experience that all of you have shared in your professional and daily life. To give shelter or to offer something to an inconnu, in French we say, to someone that you don't know, to someone that you never met before. And that is an experience per se, is really the way that you can offer something different. Offer not your valuables, but offer your intimacy, your your secret space that somehow you open for one moment or for longer than one moment, where you make yourself available to understand. And this is the only way that in which people can make contact and can change the planet. Again, let's not forget, our planet is our home. And again, I want to repeat it. It's good to have one place, one home for humanity, but knowing that there are many homes everywhere that is nice to visit. Thank you.
Thank you, Donato, for your powerful words. And while we invite everyone who follows to be even a little bit shorter, so we really get everyone in, we want you to know that we collect all your statements in order really to keep us connected and to, to leverage the collective power that we are holding. So nothing is lost, even if it's coarse and short. And with that, we are moving to Denmark, to our friend Helen Eriksson, an internationally renowned business psychologist. Helen, please.
Thank you very much. I'll do it as short as I can. I think the reason why we need the Earth Home Alliance is because we, the people, we are the true paradigm shifters, really. And we need these co-creative fields and homes of interconnectedness so much to inspire each other, to sustain each other, and also to remind us of our universal callings, and actually also to offer gathering opportunities, psychological security, physical security, and being lighthouses so that people can find us and we can help people find each other. And at the Eriksson Institute of Interconnectedness, our lifelong inspirational motto is actually inspired by nature and the fruit trees, namely giving while growing. And we also look at it as a universal transformational principle, really. We think that everything living on Earth is giving while growing. Turning fruit trees, give fruits, grow on, the leaves fall down, and it becomes regenerative, sustainable cycles, abundance, really. And I think regarding cooperation and collaboration, there are so many common denominators. After 30 years of bridging science and consciousness for planetary, universal oneness, peace, sustainability, we all look so very much forward to cooperating with all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, beloved sister. And we are zooming back to Central America to hear you, Eduardo. You've been on the call with Maria in your home country. We are over to you.
Thank you very much, Rama and Alexander, for this wonderful initiative. I'm very, very happy, delighted to be, being part of this group. After having survived COVID and feeling that I was very close to die, because I really was, I think that we really were close to die, I decided to change some things in my life. And one of the things that I did is to understand better who I am. And I believe that this is the most powerful argument for all of us to feel part of this Home for Humanity initiative. We are part of one single family. That is that all of us, we are all human beings. And I want to share with you in 30 seconds what I did. I decided to have one of these DNA tests to find out my ancestry, my origins. And I discovered that I'm really part of the whole world. I'm part of around 20 different peoples, 14 or 15 nationalities. And that was so amazing. And it's really a powerful tool to make you feel part of this home for humanity. And I really invite you, all of you, to do the same, because when you do it, you really change the way on how you feel being a human being. And I discovered that I'm from Spain, that I am indigenous from Central America. I'm also indigenous from Central America, but I have a lot of African I'm also part of the Cameroon, Congo, and Western Bantu peoples. I'm also part of Senegal. I'm a Jewish also, okay? I'm also from Greece and Albany. I'm from Italy. I'm from Wales. And I'm also from Northern Africa. That's what I look like, a Arab sometimes when I'm abroad. But I'm very happy for this initiative. And I'm looking forward to continue this Agora meetings and to have more time to share perhaps in small groups and to start under your guidance and acting, I hope, as our facilitators. And thank you very much again, Rama and Alexander.
Thank you. We look forward to drawing, Eduardo, on your long experience in diplomacy and political strategy across the world and across Latin America. Thank you so much for sharing this.
And yes, we will have many smaller circles to follow to really go into much deeper depths. And with that, we are moving to our deep friend Liliane de Toledo in Switzerland, who is hosting in her own home Rencontre de Shakti.
Les rendezvous de Shanti. Anyhow, right now it's a little bit difficult to host anything because, as you know, every meeting is limited, if not totally suppressed. And I'm a little bit puzzled on what to share because on one hand, I totally agree and share your desire to put my attention and all my energy in, a lightful future. But I do find we live in very, very crazy times where very, very crazy things are happening. And I think it's good to care for the future and be open to a very positive future. But I think it's also important to be very careful with what is happening right now, because we are completely stripped away from our common sense, from our liberties, and from our humanity in terms of, we cannot meet with people. We have to meet with people with with a mask. You don't even see people smiling in most of the places. I mean, all that for a virus, which is, if you look at the figures, not much more dangerous than a very bad flu. In Switzerland, we don't have any more dead. The death rate in 2020 is not higher than in 2019. So I personally think we should be very careful also of the present and what is happening. Because if we want a future as we all would like to have it, we have to be careful of what is happening right now on a worldwide scale. And I think it should really ring bells that the same thing is happening all over the world with the same means, with the same propaganda. So I know that I'm not in tune with the mood of what is shared, but I think it's really important to keep our eyes open, and yet also to keep our attention on humanity, unity, creativity, spirituality. But both are important right now. I mean, that's my feeling.
Yeah. Yes.
No, it's not you now.
Oh, it's not.
You have to wait.
And Paul, definitely just to reiterate that is the circle, that everyone in this circle is dealing on the front lines, dealing with what is happening right now. And that is how we are going to use the present to create the future. So that's very much in our midst, whether it's a Hira in Palestine, Loten struggling for Tibet, and in each case, seeing how situations are getting much, much worse everywhere around the world. This is why we need to come together. I'm again wanting to remind us that normally at Agora is very spacious. And here we've done an outrageous thing and asking just to share an essence in a minute or less. But we will go on. We want to hear every one of you. And this is the richness we have in coming together. So with this, we are turning to Karen and then to Zaina. Karen, who is in Switzerland, the founder of International Bridges of Justice, and then to Zaina right after. You're still muted, Karen. Still muted.
I opened my secret book for inspiration and it said, "The earth is home." Really, out of 400 pages, it says, "The earth is home." And the line said, "Finally, the final seed shakes." I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you. This is amazing and beautiful. For International Bridges of Justice, when we came and said, you know, we need a French home, it was with absolute openness that Rama and Alexander said, yes, Home for Humanity will be your French home. And so we work on ending torture by giving people a lawyer early on. And I think what's so beautiful is that it's with the same generosity and abundance and love that I always feel with you, that so excited about your Earth Alliance, and all of you always have amazing people who come together, and it reminds me of my highest aspirations. So thank you for everything, and thank you for all of you, for all of your very inspiring words and your presence and your love.
Thank you, Reverend Karen Say. We move from you, dear Karen, to Zaina in Jordan, Chief Community Building Officer at MedLabs. You too have been on the front lines of the COVID crisis. Thank you.
We have indeed. We've been right on the front lines with this corona crisis. I just want to thank you, Rama and Alexander, for including me, and thank you to everybody who spoke so beautifully and eloquently and so upliftingly and realistically as well. I think we do have a huge challenge with all the people here and elsewhere who truly believe that we're one and that we have a home for humanity that we need to build together. Somehow the world is moving in the opposite direction continuously. The trend is always to more people suffering and more death and more destruction of our rainforests and our earth. So the urgency just increases and increases. And I think in a moment it's easy to stop and think and appreciate these realities, and then so quickly go back to our daily lives and our routines and just, you know, forget for the rest of the day what's happening out there. So because we all have our own personal challenges and we want to get through the day. But I think what we need to do, and what I've felt so inspiringly from this gathering today, is to remember to have the courage to make a difference, to do something, as Dries said from Morocco, not just to speak, but to do, no matter how small it is. Just to be conscious of ourselves, conscious beings, conscious parents, involve our children, teach them the realities so that they grow up more aware, make changes in your daily routines, whether it's helping somebody, giving of yourself, with even recycling and just thinking about what you're putting in on your plate, and all these small things together can make a huge impact on our earth. And I think if we all make a step towards that, we're doing something positive, because only together can we reverse and push back this tide that keeps beating us in the opposite direction of where we want to go. But I feel that together with this alliance, if we all push together, we'll get somewhere, and I'm very hopeful. So thank you for including me, and thank you for everybody's inspiring words.
Thank you so much, Zina. Shukran. And from torture and from COVID, we are moving into another drama place where light, however, is found. And we are moving to India, to Mumbai, to Mumtaz Sheikh, who is one of the co-founders of KORO, of the Women's Federation of Women in the Slums of Mumbai. Over to you, Mumtaz, please.
Thank you so much for this, and I'm very happy to part of this whole family. I will start to answering 3 questions. So first is Earth Home Alliance is an important initiative to deepen the value of fraternity, equity, and love across the globe as a whole. Second, I can share my whole experience of transformation in my life, and my life about is love, forgiveness, trust. So I will share my experience. Third, we as an organization can offer sharing and learning of our grassroots leadership process, and also offer same to family of Earth Home Alliance. So this is my answer, and thank you so much for being us.
Mumtaz, thank you. Many of you have heard me sharing and enacting the stories of Mumtaz and her sisters in the slums of Mumbai, whose slogan is, when you find the power within and the power with each other, then you have the power to change the world. That's what Mumtaz and her sister and the women in the slums do every day. Thank you. You are a heroine to all of us. So we move from you, dear Mumtaz, all the way to Jonathan, who is in the UK, but whose heart is in Gaza, in Palestine, theater director, writer, and peace activist.
Yes, but I just want to affirm my presence and to say that I'm here with all my heart, and to say thank you for including me. It's a great honor, and it's lovely to be with you all, and lovely to feel all your beautiful energy, and to know that the Home for Humanity is not just a private thing. That's what's so impressive about what Rama and Alexandra have done. They've made a public space of their private space, and that's so important in our time, to refresh the public space that we have with this intimacy and this heart, because to celebrate the origins of humanity in the coalitions of women in the Rift Valley of Africa hundreds of thousands of years ago is also to recognize that we're currently, for a very short period of time in our human history, living under a system which is quite inhuman. And that system, you can call it capitalism. I think it is capitalism. It manifests itself as a system. And we are now, because of this system, because of the dominance of production over reproduction, we're facing the first global ecological crisis and challenge. And we know, because we've read Naomi Klein's great book about disaster capitalism, that there are also forces in the world that are easily able to take opportunity and to predate on these disasters that occur in our human existence. And we've got to be very mindful of the fact that that system, capitalism, which is the head, which is what it means, is just headism. It's got to be replaced by heartism. And that's why I'm fully with you. Thank you.
There is my soon. Just move a little bit closer to the screen. My soon filmmaker, creator, and from Iraq. We would love to hear you.
Well, like everybody else, I'm really happy to be here, and happy to be here with everybody, and to you know, have ideas and feelings pinging off what everybody is saying. I don't really, I mean, all I have to say really is, one of the things that I really like about this project is that it's individual, about individual development, but also it's a collective thing, which is obviously very important, that it is about social and economic justice, at the same time as being about ecology. And this is very important to put these two things together. And often in the movements in the world, you have one or the other. And I think it's very important. I also think it's a moment when we have maybe a chance to unpick the paradigm of subject and object, thinking of ourselves as subjects and nature as an object. And the whole of Western thought seems to be structured in this way. And I think it's a very dangerous thing. And I think one of the things that is at the heart of this transformation that we're all trying to sort of make is also a sense of repair, because I think much of what we're living through is shattered. It's shattered. It's like a lot of pieces of broken pieces of pottery around. And somehow it's not that we have to stick things together in the same shape, but we have to repair the damage somehow. And that's different from being stuck on everything that's wrong at the moment. But combining that sense of repair with a sense of, you know, what a future might be like, I think is important. So I'm very glad to be here, and thank you very, very much for inviting me to be here. And it's just sending you all very much love, and especially Rama and Alexander.
Thank you, Masoon. Thank you, Jonathan, for being here, showing up together. And from an engaged theater writer and filmmaker, we are moving to another engaged filmmaker now in Switzerland, our friend Renata Keller. Please, Renata.
Hi, everybody. I feel very, very moved of being part of this amazing circle, and just what Jonathan and Mason was saying, you just spoke from my heart, so I'm not going to repeat it. I'm going to try to contribute a little bit to Kairos, so I'm going to be short. And one thing is that I wrote, to the three questions, I wrote the answers, but I'm not going to read them. I think they're going to be put on the website. But one thing that occurred to me in terms of why it's so important to create home of alliances, and I mean, this is like such a powerful group of people. I also feel to not forget that one of our homes are also silence and stillness. Nature is embedded and is fueled by stillness and by silence. And I feel like what binds us all within all this upheaval that we're all experiencing in the world is also that where we can refresh our souls, where we can dive in and let go and come out again in a refreshed way, is in stillness and in silence. And I just want to thank you all for all your amazing words that I share very much with all of you. And I'm leading on to the next person. Thank you so much, Ram and Alexander, for also having me here. Thank you.
Sister Esther Shebi, unfortunately, her line has broken from Nigeria. She may join us, but we go to Irena, Irena Atelovic in Croatia, the founder of Terra Mira and a professor for sustainable development.
Hello, everyone. I'm so thrilled and honored to be part of this circle. And indeed, I'm greeting you from Croatia, from Center for Regeneration and Human Potential, and which I have founded only a year ago, after 20 years of pursuing an international academic career of teaching sustainability, when I actually decided to not only to talk the walk, but to walk the talk and return back to my homeland. And indeed, as I listen to all of you in terms of being critical and how much we need to also do the action and enact what we believe, this is what I try to do at this place, with this vision that this piece of abandoned rural land in Dalmatia of Croatia has been with the vision to regenerate and to become an inspirational meeting ground for change makers and social artists, as Jean loves to say. I like this new term of being committed transformers. And I think this is really important, that we do indeed keep the criticality of what's going on in the world and then what we do about it. I can tell you one action that we are trying to do here through the center recently in Croatia. They have proposed the law to not allow the small farmers to use the indigenous seeds. So with a group of people here, I'm now trying to stop this law so that we can actually really address this serious issue of disconnecting us from the source of life. But also at the same time, we are also planting trees in Terra Mira. And I've just recently, just in the last few days, with the help of local community and the volunteers, we have planted over 200 trees, native forest trees in the center. So that's my little contribution to this positive hope and the At Home Alliance, and I'm so thrilled that I'm part of it. And thank you, Rama and Alexander, for joining me in. Thank you.
Great to have you with us. And with that, we are moving once more to our humanity artists. We heard them already singing. We will hear them briefly speaking. We're moving to Pops Mohamed in South Africa. Pops, please.
Just a line of your vision and inspiration.
Pops, you're
You're
muted.
still muted.
Can't hear you. Pops, we come back to you in a second. We let you find it. We go briefly to
Can
Paul
you hear me?
first. No, yes,
Can
we
you
got you.
Yeah. Well, just repeat your question again.
If we heard all of your vision and inspiration in your beautiful song, but we're coming back to the artist. If you would like to share in a sentence or two, your vision, your motto, your inspiration for us.
Well, you know, I've been watching this COVID thing since it began and stuff like that, and people are complaining about, you know, what COVID is doing, and COVID is really, really, really a serious thing that's taken over the whole world. It's almost like someone was saying earlier on, that nature is talking to us. But what I want to say is to come back home, to come back to ourselves, is to start looking at the IMs. When I talk about IMs, I'm talking about people. If you want people to actually listen to you, and you address people, and you want them to listen to your message, first of all, you must love yourself in order to get people to love you or to listen to you. And to love yourself is a very, it's trying to be bliss. Trying to be bliss it's a very tricky thing, you know. There's different forms of happiness. There's happiness, tears of joy, and all kinds of tears and all kinds of happiness and sadness happening in the world. But then when we talk about trying to be bliss, is that we have to look within ourselves. To love yourself is to get rid of the IMs. I'm this and I'm that. I can do this better than that person. And if you say to this person that, you know, I've just won the lottery, you know, he says, oh, that's nothing, man. My dad has won the lottery, you know, 4 or 5 times over again. You know, so you think about all these IMs, and if you look at yourself in the mirror, turn off the light and put a candle on and start having an interview with yourself. Talk to yourself. It's almost like you're having an interview with God. And ask yourself, you'll discover that there are things that you've been doing all your life that was wrong, and there are things that were right. And how to get rid of those things that you've been doing wrong or wrongfully doing things to other people is to get rid of those things, to ask for forgiveness and things like that, and also forgive people, to come back home to where we are, the Home Alliance, and to be yourself. Once you got rid of the IMs, then you've got the answer for the future, and that will make you a different person. You know, you look at yourself, you don't even have to express anything. People look at you, oh, this man has changed. He's such a nice guy after all, we didn't know that. And people start listening to you because why? You cleaned your soul. You are free. You are now being more bliss. And to be bliss is a very difficult thing because you have to wake up every morning feeling exactly the same. You know what I'm saying? And that's my message to the people, to be yourself and be true to yourself. And that's how people will be true to you. And that is coming home to humanity, the Home Alliance, the Agora. What you guys have found is one of the most beautiful events that I've ever come across in my whole entire life. And this is the message that I want to give to people, is to be yourself. And then this whole thing of coronavirus and all those things will go away because you understand yourself. Like the speaker was saying that he tested for his DNA, and that's how he cured himself. We can cure ourselves as well with that, but you have to be true to yourself first and foremost.
Paul? Oh, sorry, I was muted. Thank you so much, Pops. And we turn to Paul for your vision.
Well, there have been so many words, and I'm better at making notes than making words, as you probably know by now. I wanted to share something with all of you. I just recently returned from Estonia, where I was invited to play in a music festival. And even up to 1 week before the festival was to go on, the organizer wasn't sure it could happen. And then finally he said, we're going to do it. And so I got on the plane and I flew to Tallinn, had the test in my nose, and then went to the hotel, not even knowing if it was going to be positive or not. And the next day, the 2 days with the festival. And the organizer, he told me, he says, look, I'm not even sure we'll have a public in the medieval church in Tartu because people are so afraid. But you know what? It was absolutely wonderful. I was there with African musicians, Iranian musicians, musicians from around the world in small numbers, but nonetheless, it was humanity, total humanity. We all played together. We shared moments together. There was a full church for the event. And I commend totally the organizer and the spirit that he had to put on this event in such a moment of uncertainty. And this is the spirit which I really feel that we need, you know, and I was so touched to be a part of that event. And it was it will always be with me because of everything around the event and because of the beauty of the public it came and the wonderful musicians that I played with. And I just, well, yes, what can I say? It was really great. And I thank all of you for this spirit. This is the spirit, you know, no matter what, you know, you're going to do it. We're going to do this. We're going to make it happen, you know, and this is really wonderful. So I thank both of you for this spirit. And I thank Rahul Longsep in Tartu for that beautiful spirit. I thank all of you for that. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Paul, no matter what, thank you for that.
And I want to mention one quick thing because we all know that everyone has suffered, and one of the groups really suffering is artists and creative people. And Pops has created a platform to support artists across South Africa and elsewhere. So tune into that and offer them your support. We move to Loten for a quick word from you, dear Loten.
Yes, hello. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Am I on? Okay. Firstly, I want to thank you all, and I want to especially my sympathy and my, you know, to the lady, our sister from Palestinian, because we are in the same boat, and there are many others who are oppressed in this world. And I wish everybody a quick kind of a, yeah, kind of, you know, that we can get our freedom. And about the three questions, I just summed them up in one or maybe in one or two sentences. First, I want to say that mind at peace is very important. And so when I came to Home for Humanity in France, my mind was absolutely at peace. And I think that's so wonderful to just the first impression. And second thing is, I want to say that, you know, to reach that mind, the peaceful mind, we have to cultivate warm-heartedness in our human beings. And so, such as, you know, human values such as compassion, forgiveness, tolerance, contentment, self-discipline, and all these are, His Holiness the Dalai Lama calls them secular ethics or universal values. So I want to remind on this, what His Holiness has been teaching for all these years now. And so with this, I want to really, or I really hope that this Home for Humanity will also work on this, the cultivation of these human values, such as I said before, compassion, forgiveness, tolerance, contentment, and self-discipline, and so on. So thank you very much for giving me this wonderful time and this opportunity and the, you know, such a wonderful people I've never met except one or two. And I'm glad to be part of this wonderful organization for whatever it is.
Thank you so much, Loten. And we want to give a try one more time to Sister Esther in Nigeria. If she can hear us, Sister, please show your face, unmute. Yes, there she is. And can we hear you? You're still muted. Sister, we can't hear you. We can only see. Now, ready.
Okay, so good evening, everybody. And thank you so much, Rama and Alexander, again for inviting me. I am most delighted to share with everybody. You know, the importance of having it at this crucial time. It's not far-fetched. Everybody has been talking about the COVID-19. So it makes me feel very
Our dear sister Esther, we feel your presence and your spirit, but we can't hear you. We will try a bit later. Let us move. I'm sorry. Let us move then straight to the Syrian front. I'm sorry, sister. The line is too bad.
Come back.
Try to come back. And maybe invite Noor, who is one of the founding members of Rescue Mayday from Syria and a specialized trainer of the White Helmets.
Hello, everyone. I hope you can hear me clear. It's a struggle actually to squeeze all what I have in my basket in 1 minute. That's 60 seconds. So I'm not going to go further on it. I just want to say one thing. Being alone for a long time, having to move and travel to another country, forced to do that, looking for home that have been lost, put me in a crisis where a single smile can offer you for a milliseconds this moment of serenity and peace where you can feel, I have home of peace. And smile is something we all have and we can offer for free and for everyone. And give this moment of silence to anyone who needs it, just to feel they are home. It's an honor for me to be a member of this family and moving ahead shoulder by shoulder with all of you to take the concept of humanity and offering the home in different concept all the way until we achieve it. Oneness is with all, not with only our self and soul and higher soul. It's achieving oneness with everything, every creature. Thank you.
Thank you, dear son, Noor. So lovely to hear your words. And we go to Maximilian Abouleish in Egypt, Chief Sustainability Officer of SECEM.
Hello, everybody. I'm very grateful for being here. I think coming together here is a new form of humankind to tackle the world's challenges and to align with a common purpose and consciously choose with whom to ally with and consciously choose to play or to call a place home. And I'm grateful for being part of that. I think coming to Germany and seeing probably the same kind of madness many of you see in terms of dealing with the COVID crisis, I can really proudly say that I have learned from Egypt to stay relaxed and to stay happy, even though the situation is probably as severe as somewhere else. People have realized after some months that in more than 5,000 years of civilization, we have seen so many crazy things. And I think fear is the biggest danger. Acting out of fear is not helping us taking the next step together. And I think staying with a positive attitude and a mindset is what we can learn even to uphold in nowadays, because the change happens from here, from a conscious decision, and nothing can stop us. And this is also something I can say we learn here in Sikkim, is that no mission impossible should stop us doing until we prove it can be done. And I'm happy to provide a space for transformation agents to come to Egypt and work with us, and to design programs with partner organizations from Brazil, for example, Sinal, to make a program, to make an educational journey possible where people become change agents. Thank you very much.
Thanks, Max. And your motto, "Nothing can stop us," leads us straight to Dr. Premi Naika in South Africa, one of the female leaders of that country, founder of Green Skills Consulting. Premi, please.
Hi, everybody. Good morning, good afternoon. And thank you, Rama and Alexander, for inviting me to be part of the Unity Circle. And as we say in Africa, or South Africa, the Ubuntu Circle. And also, I'm really grateful to have met so many beautiful transformative practitioners from all over the world, from north, south, east, and west. And to bring us all together, we have this amazing virtual world that we can actually take the time to see each other without the masks and to be able to smile. And I know somebody said, you know, a smile costs nothing. So I think this, well, it's been almost 2 hours now, 2.5 hours that I've spent with an amazing group of people. And I look forward to working and speaking to all of you in the near future. So thank you so much.
Thank you all, and thank you, Premi, for reminding us that we are cohabiting in Kairos and Chronos. We have, despite our firm intentions and time planning, gone over time. We have been, as the global team and the founding family of the Home for Humanity French Association, been listening to you. And if you have time, we would love it now to hear our wonderful global team, who are all working in their own lives or studying, but have given the gift of their time and expertise to support this great endeavor to support the Earth Alliance. So if some of you have to leave, as some of you did, Maria, Espinosa, and Eduardo sent a message. They had changed their family program to be with us. They now had to travel. But if you can stay with us till the end, that's beautiful. But we understand if some of you have to leave. But we are very, very delighted now to express our gratitude and pride in our global team that's just joining together to support us forward. And we start with Chris Martin, an immigration lawyer and human rights lawyer from the US, who is also working with International Bridges of Justice from the US.
Hi, Rama. Hi, Alexander. Hi, everyone. Just echoing the same thoughts. How honored I am to be here, how inspiring this group of people is, and how unsurprising that such an inspiring group of people would be drawn to you and drawn to Home for Humanity. I'm one of Rama's former students from Geneva Academy, and I just wanted to say that I think the Home for Humanity is this unique, beautiful, global salon, this space that's going to foster ideas, a safe space for growing transformational justice, transformative justice, and bringing together all communities all over the world. And I'm just honored to be able to try and bring my own skills and energy and ideas to sustain this Home for Humanity and help sustain the transformational, the theater of transformation, and just encourage it to grow. And I'm just really looking forward to what's next. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Chris. We are honored. And we are honored also to have Mark with us, who is the next in line, Mark Le Platenier from Switzerland, who is also co-founder of an entrepreneur podcast. Over to you, Mark, please.
Hi, everyone. Super happy to be here also as well. There have been so many beautiful words this afternoon that I won't even attempt to add something there, but I just wanted to introduce myself because I will be helping Rama and Alexander next year full-time at the beginning of the year to try to develop this amazing organization and further build this impact that we have with this Agora, with a very close, amazing team. And I think what I really want to bring during these few months and then also afterwards is a systemic and also digital-oriented foundation so that this organization can continue to build on this authentic impact and multiply this impact over the years without falling prey to a lack of structure, and also profit fully from these digital opportunities that we see here, without losing its authentic value or these very close family ties that we can very clearly see here. And yeah, I'm very much looking forward to being even more present here at Home for Humanity and meeting all of you, hopefully maybe in person or through further Zoom calls. So thank you very much.
Wonderful. We're very lucky that many of our St. Gallen University students from Switzerland are part of the team. So now we are turning to Delia Gilgan, who is currently writing her thesis on the humanity quest on Home for Humanity.
Well, thank you all for having me. I think what I wanted to say the most is I feel really called to be part of Home for Humanity because I see this urgent need for a shift from a competitive mindset to a cooperation and collaboration. And I think being here with all of you and listening to all of you just really shows how beautiful such cooperation can be. Yeah.
So much, Delia. Stephanie, are you still here?
Yes. Thank you. And thank you all for your previous statements. It's so incredibly interesting to listen to all of you. I strongly believe that all individuals, all organizations, and all societies have to listen and to learn from each other to achieve change and thus to achieve unity. So building bridges is my inner calling and also why I support Home for Humanity's mission. And I'm really, really glad and really, really thankful to be able to practice this through and with Home for Humanity and with you, Rama and Alexander, and now and in the future. So thank you once again.
Thank you, Stephanie. Stephanie is also the one who is developing the living curriculum, and many of your interviews will show up, and she will be in touch with many of you on this regard. And we now move to Italy, to Virginia Bergamoscu, whom we were lucky to meet through one of our partner organizations, CINAL. Virginia is also a sustainability expert and a program assistant. Over to you, Virginia.
Yes, hello, thank you so much. It has been truly enriching to participate to this meeting today, following so many great and inspired people. To me, Home for Humanity really offered the chance to stop and reflect on what is important recently, and I feel like that resonates a lot with the current times. We really take this COVID moment as a chance to stop, reflect, and really resync with our purposes. To me, that the purpose really focuses on bridging the gaps between academics and practitioners. And I really hope in the future to develop links and build bridges between Home for Humanity and other regenerative hubs with academics. So I really look forward much to meeting you all in the next future. Thank you.
Wonderful, Virginia. And is Jihan on the line? So we are joined on this call. We have Zahira from Palestine, Loten from Tibet, and Jihan from Kurdistan. So we also are very much with the Kurdish people. Jihan, just unmute. Who's a biologist at the University of Bern, a photographer, and a culinary artist.
Thank you so much. Hello, everyone. I am so excited. That's why I cannot speak English as well. I say something in Turkish, and I hope Elif can help me to translate. İnsanlık tarihi savaşlarla başladı.
Sen bitir cümleyi.
Ve bugün bu kadar dünyanın bütün değişik yerlerinden insanları bir arada görmek beni umutlandırıyor.
Devam et.
Ve bu umut bütün dünyadaki insanların tek kelimeyle olsa bile bir araya gelmesiyle büyük bir haykırışı, büyük bir çığlığı bir araya getireceğine inanıyorum. Ve böylelikle barış sesini gerçekten bütün dünyaya duyurabileceğimiz inancıyla hepinizi selamlıyorum.
Unfortunately, the history of humanity is all about wars and conflict in most part of the world. And this gathering, this alliance today means much for him, that it means a scream for peace, a scream for coexistence. And this is the hope that he carries in his heart as a Kurdish man who has fought for freedom and ancestrally for many, maybe hundreds and hundreds of years.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you, Elif, too.
Yes, son.
Gian, we have our hands on our hearts for you and for the Kurdish people.
Thank you.
For joining us. And we are proud to now introduce Josephine Fini Böllhoff from Germany. She's doing her master's in sociology and she supports us in being better communicators.
Hi everyone, I hope you can hear me. I had a statement prepared, but I feel like so much has been said and I resonate with everything so much. I'm super, super grateful to be able to be here. And I think first and foremost, I'm here because I want to listen and learn from all the different diverse bodies of knowledges and lived experiences. And I think this is the greatest asset for me. I hope to give a little bit back as well by giving Home for Humanity visibility through communication, hopefully. And yeah, there's so much I could say, but really, I just believe in home, humanity, unity, love, and yeah, that's why I'm here. Thank you so much.
Thank you, dear Fini. With this, Fini, we are zipping to our Egyptian team member, Mohamed El-Bambi in Cairo.
Good night. Hello, everybody. I just want to say thank you for, very much, Professor Alexander, and thank you, Dr. Ramani, for picking me. I'm very delighted to be a part of this unique group of change makers and social art. And thank you for the previous words which was very inspiring and which it really made my day. I would like to start with a quote for an Arabian writer. He's Dr. Mustafa Mahmoud. I'll say it firstly in Arabic, then I'll translate it into English. قيمة الإنسان ما يضيفه إلى الحياة بين ميلاده وموته. A person's value is what he adds to life between his birth and his death. So thank you, because when being a part of this unique group makes me feel like I am valuable. I feel like Home for Humanity, not only for humanity, I feel like it's the heart of the earth. I think it would be enough if we only shared our greatest spiritual and love from Home for Humanity to the whole world. I really hope to network together and to cooperate and to turn our feelings and our roots into an action into the whole world. I think we can contribute in something, because I feel from everybody's which was talking, I feel like he is talking from his heart. I think he's working in something he loves. He's working with someone who loves. So I think we can do something together, And I'm looking so much forward to seeing you, to meeting all of you. And thank you so much for bringing me to this international, unique group of change makers and social arts. And thank you for the play and for the music. Thank you so much.
Mohamed, shukran. Mohamed, who is also the co-founder of the Egyptian Genius Innovation Community. More on that on our website, and more on that in the future. We are moving to Sri Lanka now, to Sonali Vaniga-Baduga, who is a human rights lawyer. She's a TV anchor. She's a legal counsel, and we are happy to have you on board. Sonali, please.
Thank you so much. It's my honor. And I hope you can visit Egypt soon.
Thank you so much, Alexander. Thank you, Dr. Rama. What a beautiful day it is to be surrounded by a world full of magical human beings who care beyond themselves, whose hearts ache when the world's peoples cry, those whose eyes well up with real tears when the world's peoples act in a multiplicity of short-sighted ways, bruising nature as it bleeds, shooting each other till they die. Dear magical human beings, thank you for all you do and for caring enough. It means the world. Thank you. And following this discourse, this conversation, how I'd like to help in contributing to the ethos and the raison d'etre of the Home for Humanity is by amplifying the voices that care, not only by working within our limited circles and the silos that we are used to, but to engage with those who don't share our views, our thoughts, and our perspectives, to amplify the voices through the media, through our writing. So thank you very much for making me a part of this beautiful discourse. I'm so thrilled to be here. Thank you.
Thank you, Sonali, for bringing your poetry and power into this, and you will be specifically supporting this magic of the Earth Agora for that very reason, for your passion and commitment. I'm just checking if Maura is able to be with us, or if she's still on our other call. That's no problem. So finally, dearest friends, we turn to our founding family who have supported us in creating, in building up this vision, this alliance, this movement, and in also founding the Home for Humanity French Association. Thais in Brazil has been very patiently online since the beginning. Beloved Thais, we hope your camera is working, and we turn first to you.
Yes, hang on, can I be seen? Yes, thank you so much. It was really moving to hear so many voices from all around the world, and also so felt. That's what I could listen in the voices. Really people being present and committed to what they are, to that connection, no, with Home for Humanity and all that. And I don't want to talk much. I just want to say that we have had a long collaboration, and I really understand that in this Home Alliance, there are the seeds of what can be born from the future, because people have to be accepted. We have to kind of relearn how to be together with nature, and to deconstruct, to disprogramming all these concepts and beliefs that we have created along centuries already, So I think it will be through the homes that this will happen. And so I hope that with this inspiration, many more homes across the globe will be created, or will be reborn, because this was part of all cultures, no? And then we kind of change in this individualistic and way of life. And so that's my hope, and wish Home for Humanity many, many years of life and inspiration with the art that you know how to do so well.
Thais, we are so blessed to have you in this circle in the founding family, and hope everyone in time will visit your Home for Humanity in the Mata.
Yeah.
And we are now very proud to move to our next founding member, Pius Leutenegger from Switzerland and Italy, founder of Centro Doppio, a real icon of human awakening and development.
Yeah, I'm touched to listen to you, and looking back to all the discourse and talks we had, and see you now all together on screen is really touching me, and listen to your voices when your heart speaks. That's the part which needs to be done in the future. And so we are the fractal. Let's be the fractal, and let's empower the female powers in this world. That will make the change. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, dear Pius, for speaking and sharing that wisdom. We turn to Elif, Dr. Ada Elif Tibet, visual anthropologist, filmmaker, for all the support you've been giving us together with Thais and Pius. Over to you.
Hello all. It's been a long day and a long evening, and I just wanted to say how amazing was to listen to all of you and feel connected despite digitally. And I'm longing to see you and meet you in person, all of you, hopefully in Home for Humanity, that we unite in our humanity very soon. And this is just a blessing to still be able to even believe in humanity after what we have all gone through. So I think what unites us is our belief, and our bond is our belief, I suppose, but maybe not in just the spiritual or religious sense, but something different, which I do not yet have the words to define what that is. But it's homecoming, so wishing you all that we come home all together in our inner selves and in our earth. So thank you all. Teşekkür ederim in Turkish, and spas in Kurdish.
Yes.
And shukriya in my mom's language. And dankeschön in my Pachapapa's language. And obrigada, tashidele in Tibetan. Thank you.
Elif, thank you for being with us, and also for helping us with the website, which we are soft launching today. So thank you. And from our beloved daughter.
And to mention also that Elif, in addition to many things that she's filmed, is making a feature film on Home for Humanity. Not this home, but the vision, the alliance, the key people. And on this call amongst you, on this very screen, you know, we have so many inspiring homes for humanity. Jean's home, where she is speaking to the world, thousands of people around the world, and holding salons in her home to change humanity. Zahira, where she's given birth to so many of the national movements for freedom in her own home. Thais, of course, who's created this home in Sinal for young people to learn about regeneration. Helen, who for years has been bringing people to her own home so that they can eat the food of nature and fast and transform their cells and their selves. So many homes around the world which are already setting the example for us. Irena in replanting the indigenous plants in Terra Mira and regenerating the earth, and on and on. So with this, we turn to
someone we are particularly proud of course, which is our son, one of the youngest also Homes for Humanities emerging in Rotterdam, Arjuna, a true agent of transformation. And we also honor your partner, Mora from Argentine, who has been a very supportive spirit of Home for Humanity all throughout. Arjuna.
Wow, thank you. You can hear that, I'm quite speechless. My voice is frail. This is just incredible. I'm so touched to see how far we've come, and we've come to this where so many beautiful, strong voices from all over the world are committing their energy, committing their practice, committing their, a part of their lives to come together and catalyze all of our transformative energies into promising something better for everything and for every being. And that is just, that's all I want to say. It's just absolutely beautiful, because I've seen this from being a small dream fetus to slowly coming, and it's palpable. It's here, and I just want to thank everybody, congratulate everybody, even those who have had to already leave the call, which is understandable because we're only 1 hour ahead of program, but behind program. But just one small thing I also wanted to add, because eventually we all kind of deviated from it, but there were 3 questions. And one of them I really wanted to share, one of the answers of which I really wanted to share is my experience and how that is relevant here. I always knew this quote, this proverb, but now I think it makes a lot of sense. Something about how from the thickest of mud rises the most beautiful lotus. And I think this year, from all the crises, I mean, obviously the one that we all know being the main one, but there's so many crises already going on all over the world, so many struggles. And from that kind of to see what's going on here is just, for me, it's just, that's the lotus coming out. And thank you all so much. I'm very grateful. And also in the name of my partner, María, who unfortunately can't be here.
Thank you, dear son.
So with the last of the family members have spoken, and Rama and I have spoken already quite a bit. Initially, there was a plan to summarize, to weave a little bit what came up, and there were so many incredible seeds that came up. We want you to know that what happened today was for us the beginning. This is a dynamic process in which we are totally committed, and we know we are all together committed transformers. One of the terms that has been coined today, the spirit of Ubuntu, the voices of the indigenous guiding and leading us from the past into the future, that was Pop's song to us. And we are honoring this spirit of community, of an Earth Home Alliance. And Rama, I feel it's not the time now to summarize, but what we want to do is to say 1 or 2 sentences about what is to be expected. Because before this year ends, we are coming back to you with harvesting the nuggets in writing of this particular beautiful call. In the meantime, we invite all of you also to write additional thoughts that you may have, in addition to what I've been said today, in how we want to take it further in future, a reflection on this call that we had, and we will summarize and distill it, and we will, with the help of our glorious young team,
some of whom tried to be with us but couldn't. So there are other team members who are in the wings supporting us.
So we are going to take that further. We are going to keep that fire burning. And I guess this fire is also metaphorically fire that is in all of our hearts, and the fire that warms us, that connects us, and that brings us over and over together. This was a time of deepening our friendship, our alliance. And we are incredibly grateful for the commitment and for the friendship and love that we have experienced today, the sounds of the collective heart. And Rama, I would like you maybe to say a couple of sentences before we hand over for concluding statements to our Unity Circle co-chairs, Mahmoud and Jean, and then we will be have a glorious farewell with the help of our friend Loten.
I have no words to say. You've said it all. I'm longing to hear. I'm really grateful that knowing how busy both Jean's schedule with all of the lectures you have to give daily and all of the teaching, and Youssef, you've been at board meetings all weekend, that you were here with us despite us being over time. We want to hear what you've got out of this. As we said, this we saw as the launch, not simply of Home for Humanity's vision and strategy and new story, but really the birthing of this Earth Alliance. We thought the best way to do so was by having the first Earth Agora. Circle is raw, really help us design go forward as an Earth Agora. And so we turn to you. I think we'll go maybe to Youssef so we can have you, Jean, being the last words, ringing in our minds. Also because Loten may know, Jean, that of your many, many adopted children and people that you take care of, your dependents who are 19 or 20, you have a Tibetan son. So we wanted your words to take us straight into Loten's song. So we go to you, dear Youssef. Thank you for being with us this entire time. We want to hear what's come out of it.
Thank you very much for sparing me the difficult steps that I would have had to take had Jean spoken again. So I will be very, very brief. There is so much to take away, so many steps we can build on that have been so generously and eloquently expressed. I'm going to focus on 3 takeaways that perhaps could be built upon going forward. The first one is that we need to be mindful that the word home is not available or reachable, however needed at this time. And as you know, during COVID, home has not been a word that resonates with many people, particularly those who have suffered domestic or sexual violence during this difficult time. So I think we need to be mindful that there are certain realities, whether it's in Tibet or in Palestine, that makes this a big challenge, and we need to be listening to that view. Speaking of listening, I think this has something been repeated a few times. Listening with the intent to understand is very, very important. The third element, which is what I think Pius, next to you, Rama, to your right, I think, said, I think we need to unleash the female genie within each one of us. This is something that touched me, the way you have organized the circle, both in terms of region, but also in terms of gender. And even the way you have displayed the male and female of us in a way that is clearly show that you care about gender equality. I think for sustainability, we have to dedicate a special time and energy to unleash the female vision in all of us. Thank you.
Thank you so much for pointing that out. And that's really the key thing for us when we stay home. It's because of our work and places where people have had to flee their homes, like Noor on the screen, I like our son Jihan, both of our sons, Noor and Jihan, because of the fact that, and Loten, our 3 sons are all on this call, because so many people are tortured within their homes as a prison. That's why reclaiming the earth home, the inner home, and the physical homes that we are in is so important, making every single place, every organization, every government, every place sacred, safe, loving, and a place from which we can expand to our highest potential. On which note, I turn to our dear friend, inspiration mentor, Jean, for your final words. Thank you so much, Youssef.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well, like everyone else, I'm filled with joy. For in spite of all the true horrors and awfulness that have afflicted us in recent times, very recent times, what I hear is the turning of the page of history, the annunciation of the prophetic moment that it is now the time for the next world to emerge. And that all of you, everyone here, has spoken with such depth and clarity and beauty about where they are in this life, what they are doing, what they are pushing the membrane of the possible, is the way I would put it. There's a wonderful poem that I think says it all. It goes, the human heart can go to the lengths of God. Dark and cold we may be, but this is no winter now. The frozen misery of centuries cracks, breaks, begins to move. The thunder is the thunder of the flood, the flow, the upstart spring. Thank God our time is now, when wrong comes up to meet us everywhere, never to leave us till we take the longest stride of soul folk ever took. Affairs are now soul-sized. The enterprise is exploration into God. What are we making for? It takes so many thousand years to wake. But shall we wake for pity's sake? Oh, dear friends, what I have heard over the last hours is the true and total reawakening of time and history. I've heard the endings, and I've heard the new beginnings, and I've heard the middles as well. All of you have lived at the cusp of history. All of you have gone deeper than deep, richer than we were before. All of you have survived and vivified the great changing of the time, have suffered as much as anyone in history, have gone further than just about anybody else in comprehending the totality of it all, have had, strange as it may seem, 10 to 50 to 100 times the amount of sheer experience of your ancestors of 200 years ago. You have been gifted with the muchness of this life at this time. You've been gifted with this time, and you have not fallen back. And yes, you had a tremendous amount of lostness, but also even more a gathering foundness that has made you pioneers on the frontiers, not just of this world, but of reality itself. As a student of quantum physics, my next book is about that, I find that we are cosmic agents and that we have access to totalities and knowledge and knowings that we did not know that we had before. Theology is changing, metaphysics is shifting. What it means to be human has turned the page. And above all, the love that moves the sun and all the stars, as Dante said, l'amore che muove il sole e l'altre stelle. It is in our midst. It is working with us now. We are not alone. We are not boring God. we are the people of the frontiers of not just of our lives and of our earth, all that, but also the frontiers of what we thought of as reality. We are the reality Imagineers. And if we can stay in touch with that, the universe knows, the gods, or whatever you wish to call them, the spiritual realities know. And I think if we can keep this group and its ongoing engendering going, I think that the world and ourselves, our planet, and reality itself have a chance to make a new dispensation. These are the times, and we are the people. These are the times, and we are the people. Thank you for all that you are, all that you do. Thank you so much, my old pals, Alexander and Rama, who have dared to be on the frontier of the initiative that makes the world work again.
Jean, we want to thank you, and I say thank you on the behalf of all of us to what you just said. You have shown us a door that is opening, and you have even opened it further for us. And we are committed to walk through that door. Thank you, Youssef, and thank you, Jean, and thank you also, María Espinosa, for your guidance today. And I also want to thank, because I know some of them are on the screen and they haven't spoken because they may not speak our language, the animals on the screen. I know one is next to Renata, all the forms of life which are part of the human family. And we are but a part, but we want to give our best shot. And Shakti, Renata's dog, is showing up. And I know that there's a new dog in Jean's life, Serafina. And
yeah, she's there. She is. Serafina.
Our life, of which so much joy.
Yes.
That Rama and I, together with Pius here, want to say thank you for this initial Earth Agora, for us coming together, many more to follow. Others much better time managed, but this was a time of human solidarity, coming together, celebrating our diversity. You will hear from us soon. And there's a little final exercise we want us to do. We charged our hands on our hearts a lot in this call. And we now, as we listen to Loten, we want to reach out and put our hand on the screen. And when the last note of Loten has gone, we will close this call. Thank you.